Today we are going to escape the cold, wet winter, that's all we have here in England, by making a happy and warm meadow piece. I have probably never had this much fun creating before. We are going to go absolutely crazy with splatters and other fun techniques to make a textured artwork that you can surely try at home. Are you ready for the next episode? Now, for the last 2 weeks I've been working with some texture, heavy gesso, texture paste, and I created some animals. This week I feel like doing something completely different and I want to make a huge mess. How about that? This is the biggest canvas so far. This is 45.5 by 35.5. How about being completely revolutionary and making it landscape? I could probably count on the fingers of one hand how many times I used my canvas landscape. I want to create a meadow. Yes, a meadow. The color in the background is going to be some neutral and very light. I'm spreading white at the moment with maybe a touch of light blue. I've got a little bit of Wedgwood, pink blush and Naples yellow. These are supposed to be clouds. Now the bottom part, more pinky, more yellow. It's more blended. I'm not even using water at all. Need a bit more green here. I am using phthalo green and yellow ochre to build up another layer. I'm going to wipe some of it off, blend it in first. See, that's better. Whoa, very vibrant. I might tone it down, removing sections. I'm not even painting, and with this I am basically deciding on the move of my flowers, which way are they going to grow. But at the same time I'm uncovering some of the background, which is good. Let's try this color now before I add anything else. Okay, that's a mix of green and browns. There is one color I would like to see, this sort of dark green. I added some black here. And I can use a tissue to work it in or just leave it like this. I am going to use a different brush to create some more pronounced blades. Now I've got a very thin brush, and with the thin brush I can do whatever I want. Look. I said I was craving a lot of mess. At the moment it's pretty tame, so I am going to cover my wall. I found some leftover pouring acrylics. I add more water for good splatter. Okay, there you go. Yes, yes, yes. Smaller splatter as well. I wanted to make a different type of plant. Not everything the same. I also have lighter color, so the lighter one goes a bit higher. Moves, you know, if those lines move like this, that's even better. But you need to make a bigger splash to do that. Like that. Fabulous. Now, this is insane. Okay, before adding this crazy color I am still making some interesting formations here. Okay, are we ready for this insanity? It's fine. Look, it looks so cool with the dark background. Oh my goodness. Yeah. If I'm going to be so happy with the grass, now I won't be able to put the flowers on. That's my fault. Perfect. You enjoying it? Because I am really enjoying it. Okay, now let's make some, don't know, some like different formations out of these. Great project to work with your children. I'm sure they will love splashing everything here. Unexpectedly, this crazy green proved to be really nice. One more color I would love to see here is this turquoise, I would say. Muted purple. What do we have here? All the colors, not all my colors, but plenty. Basically, I don't think I'm even going to mention them because there's so many. Completely random purples, reds, ultramarine, brilliant green, violet, lush, turquoise, cobalt blue, magenta. I also found some pouring acrylics that I've got for quite some time. Maybe before I use my palette knife and make some thicker paste, I might use these, combining with whatever I have left in my pots. Quickly touch some sections that would benefit from this color. I don't know. You see, on purpose I'm not trying to shape petals too accurately because we want this wild mess. By the way, you know, both of my screens are all splattered. Mix those two. Okay, that's a nice one. Definitely need something like this. It's going to be perhaps white lupin. What do you think? Really touching the surface with the brush, not trying to really create the shape of a plant. I think it resembles lupin enough. The lupin is here, so yes, of course, some pinky splashes around, definitely. What a happy meadow. I've got one, but I definitely want more. However, I am mixing now my colors with white because I want to create some in the distance. I will make it lower. Not that well seen through the greens, which is fine. Okay, I've got those two. They would require some kind of a stem. And this one. I don't want the stem to be so perfectly seen. Purple one. I think they look good when they are a bit mixed. To create more depth, I'm using white with a touch of lilac purple, and you can see these are like really, really faint, and I want them to be far in the distance, not going over any of the green. Look at this pretty color. Cerise pink. Cerise? Oh, I know what I'm going to do. Those little plants that got lots of dots, you know, they're so cute. If I put too many dots, they will blend into one. I am applying it at the same time. So now we've got those little ones here. First I wanted it completely abstract, just some dots and splashes. Now I'm actually enjoying imagining the individual flowers. So as usual, while I'm working, I am changing and adapting. Yeah, I kind of want to be able to recognize what's what. These could be violets. These I have to find a name for because I'm not sure. I definitely know what these are, but I don't know the botanical name. Thinking of bigger flowers, I definitely want daisies. I want some big daisies, but before daisies, introduce some yellow. How about that? Yes, I think we need some yellow here. I know what I want. I want some field buttercups. Yes, I want the petals around it. I have to be a bit careful. Let's see. Oh, what a nice... Yeah. Perfect. That made everything rather happy. Because I've got those colors here, I came up with some really cute little flowers. Look, how cute are these? The other end of the brush can be very useful. There's so many different ways of creating texture in art. Of course, we need forget-me-nots. I almost forgot about that. The end tip of a brush is probably the best because they are so small. I can't stop. I'm just enjoying myself too much. This is such a busy painting, so don't worry to cover one plant with the other. Well, we can't have forget-me-nots without the white center. And of course it's not going to be everywhere. Some different marks with the palette knife. So blossoms that are maybe more hairy. Can I say that? Adding yellow makes everything look more cheerful. Oh, that's a lot. You can see yellow so well on the green. A little bit here. Time to make some poppies, and I'll show you what I found. Something really funny. I thought, what can I use to make the poppies? I remember I had this very, very special spoon. I think I was in primary school I got it. It didn't look so black, but I still have it. It's amazing. Maybe it will work. If not, I'm going to use a palette knife. So where do I make my first poppy? So far, I'm happy. That's really, really, really thick and rich. Let's see what happens now. Right. There's a little bit too much here. I'm really happy with the heavy body acrylics. They give us some very nice texture, especially the flowers in the background and now in the foreground. Okay, now since they are poppies, they definitely need some black in the middle, don't they? Okay, I think the other ones are kind of not seen, so let's leave them alone. Now, red poppies. Of course, red poppies. My favorite. It will look sort of more natural. Of course, the red poppies will have black centers as well. My poppies will benefit from some stems, I think, here and there. Going to add some daisies. Now, looking at it, I'm not. The only problem is that I don't have a smaller palette knife than this one. And I really don't want massive flowers. So what am I supposed to do? I wonder if I could make my own palette knife. I'll try. I'll probably break it, but I'm going to try. No, I haven't tried before. There's always a first time. Is this going to break? Instead of white paint, I can use heavy gesso. And this is really heavy. How is this going to work? It does work. Slightly different to palette knife, but it definitely works. Can make it thinner. I can make the petals much smaller with my little tool. Look, like that. Bigger daisies, smaller daisies. And not all of them are seen from the front, of course. I think white was needed. White was needed. And there's one more thing I am going to do to make you happier, hopefully, because I know how you love bees. How about a couple of bees flying? Daisies need a lot of yellow. Only the ones that are completely open. This one is going to be sideways. That's a big, thick midsection. Why not? Like this. And a small one. Now, only once before did I make some bees on this one. I think, wait, they look super cute, don't they? But I have to be really small for this one. Probably this size. Maybe I should use a very small brush. Really want to be able to put a small amount of paint, but I can definitely control it more. Okay, so now we need a head. And now, oh, another black stripe. In the end, I'm using a needle because I couldn't get it small enough. I think I got the right shape. No. Head. Okay, I got the bee. One bee. I might make a couple more because it's fun. It's fun. And now we need the white at the end, don't we? I can make it even hairy, you know, if I just poke it with a needle. Can create some hairy texture. Maybe I should leave it alone for now before I destroy it. So let's add the wings once it's dry, so I don't have to fiddle too much. Where's another one going to be? No, how thin can the legs be? I'm worried to make them longer. I was going to ask you Where's Wally? I mean, where are the bees? Can you see? How many can we see? Now the wings. I have to make them really small, don't I? At least the bee is dry, so if I mess it up, I can reapply it. Oh, I was so concerned, but I think that's fine. Okay, I'm trying with this. Oh, my goodness, I have to trust myself because I can do better than I think. Okay, did it, yes. I'm ready for varnish. There we are. I hope you like this piece as much as I like making it. If you did, please consider leaving a like and a comment. And of course, subscribe if you haven't. Oh, and don't forget to tell me how many bees you think there are in the finished piece. If you're looking for more, consider joining my Patreon, when you can find extended versions of my tutorials. And if you'd like to own this happy piece, you can find it for sale at abcreativeofficial.com. Thank you so much for watching. See you all next Saturday. Bye bye.